Look at these headlines.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to read some headlines as well, because you have Trump on Truth Social talking about an extra tariff, an extra 50% tariff on Canada, aluminum, and steel. This is an additional tariff, he says. He calls it a 25% tariff on electricity coming into the United States. So clearly the turmoil still hitting markets.
Going into effect tomorrow, I think that's important as well. And you can see the S&P 500 now down close to session lows, so sort of losing that steam that it was building. The NASDAQ 100 hit session highs in the aftermath of that JOLTS data, actually, but now losing that momentum as well, up about 0.2% or so. So these hits just keep coming.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, so you've already got from Canada, at least from Ottawa, an export tax on electricity of 25%. And we're going to put additional tariffs, it looks like, on that electricity. By the way, Canadian electricity was much cheaper than U.S. electricity. That's why Canadian aluminum was cheaper than U.S. aluminum. We don't produce a lot of aluminum in this country. I can see you're chomping at the bit to say something. But
no, to read more of this.
I just want to point out, you know, the reason that we import so much aluminum is because Canada can make it much more cheaply than we can. And this effectively erases that.
Well, here, then, what do you make of this other headline that's been coming out? It's a long post, right? He's going to be declaring a national emergency, he says, on electricity. But he also said he's going to threaten to permanently shut down the Canada car industry. Can he do that, Matt?
I mean, he can, if he wants to, effectively shut down Americans buying Canadian cars with big enough tariffs. Of course, I suppose they could still produce cars for other countries, but there aren't any Canadian car makers per se, right? They're just producing, you know, Fords and Stellantis, you know, Dodge and Chrysler vehicles.
Mike McKee, we only have about 30 seconds, but weigh in on this as our economics correspondent.
Well, we had one interesting data point this morning, and that was the NFIB Small Business Survey. And in that, their uncertainty index rose to the second highest level ever, which may explain some of companies' reluctance to do a whole lot right now because they have no idea what's going to happen.